All right. We're back with another stream. Wow, that thing sucked those nodes out quick. I thought I had put this one on one, but I guess I didn't. This is going to clear one of the two of the ticketed events. And that one. Because I really needed the titanium, man, because it's really sucking me dry. And I'm not buying packs for the ships. So it's hurting a little bit not having the extra titanium from those packs, because the ones for the Vengeance is pretty low on stuff. This might be a short stream tonight, not as long as my usual ones, because I may have company coming over tonight. And the stream will stop as soon as she shows up. It's not 100% certain, but she said she might drop by. Hello, how you doing? Just trying to get everything started. Worked last night, didn't wake up until, I don't know, about 12:30, and you see, you hear my alarm for work. So I got set for on Saturday, because some Saturdays I work. But I had to wake up about 12:30. I met a friend for lunch, and then I talked to one of the women I'm talking to online. She said she might pop by tonight. I'm not 100% certain that's going to happen, but if she does, that will be the end of the stream. Unless she wants to pop on, which she might. Because I think she's into gaming too, from what she told me. I did make some oh my gosh, I swallowed something wrong. Hold on a second. Let me go get a quick drink. Man, that was, I swallowed that a little bit wrong. Oops, push the wrong key. I'm seeing what kind of, I'm not in the market for any of these packs, but it looks like they're giving you 1 of 4. If this was a time you're going to upgrade one of these ships, this would be the time to do it. They did have that I did purchase, they did have a bonus token pack for this officers, and it did allow me to make quite a bit of upgrades to Billups. You see, that's not right. That's the unadjusted number. I hate when they do that. So you go into the deal. I think I only need like, let's see, where's Billups at? We'll find him. See, I'm close. See, I only need about 160 more shards, and I'll have Billups tiered out. Which he's the main one I want done, because he's on my main interceptor crew. And you can see I'm really close on a bunch of these. Mabinga's really close. James Kirk is pretty close. The Cat Doctor is really close. Now we need 14 shards to finish up, to take Black Ops Chapel to tier 4. A lot of that came from the squad, though. Okay, that was a delay, a little bit of delay on that. So let's go into here. What I've been using, I guess it's in the season pass thing here. Okay, let's put that there. That's a nice amount of loot there. Well, I've been using it on the Klingons Strange New World officer. That's what I've been using this loot on right here. Because it's really the only way to source the guy. That and that one over here, I'll show you in a second. Then also in the, where's it at? I thought it was in the Flashpoint exchange. Those are really the only places I know that you can do something with this stuff. Looks like I need to do an epic so I can make that pull and get his shards as well over here. All right, so let's go ahead and make this pull, see what we get. How many more days has this got going? 2 says, so we probably got at least 1 more day of this. I think we'll go into the actual events. That's going to tell us more so than the event store, because sometimes it lingers a couple of days. So it looks like we have 1 more day. And what is this one here? This is for the hostels. So that's will be the first thing we'll do here today on the stream. We'll go in here and pound some of these hostels. Let's go ahead and put my augment crew on here. Let's see where they be. So what I'm going to also do, let's see, augment crew. I need to come in here and update these presets. I'm going to put the augment crew, and I'm going to see if I can improve some of the ones I've got in here. Now, Chapel juiced up. She can cruise whole health, so she's going to be a real help. Let's see who else. It looks like I got a decent set. Let's go group. I was looking for the new Mabinga. I'm gonna see what he would do on here. He's an entity. Wonder why he's not showing up here. Let's go lower deck and see if he shows up that way. There he is. Let's see his ability. Increases defense by 150% versus flashpoint hostiles. And so when he gets up a little bit higher tiered, he might be all right. He might be worth putting on in this crew here. Maybe taking, I don't know. I don't think any of these other guys have captain abilities. Let's see. I think he might. So I guess you could actually pull Janeway off of here. Let's just do it for grins and see what it, put my bingo on here. And see what happens. And also I'm gonna go into the refinery and go into the transfusion one. And let's go ahead and use this bad boy. That means now my cube won't have any, because usually that's the only thing that's really making the cube die, is not the actual hostiles. But so now it should be, yeah, see my cube is 100, will not have any kind of effect on it. See, I was pulling those by accident, you know, thinking they were the regular things, and but now I can use it, actually use the dang thing. It's time to have some fun with this one. Where's my green girl? There she is. We'll put DeMarco there. Okay. We're gonna have some fun with this bad boy. White shade. I had a friend that's got a band called Starflyer 59. His name is Jason Martin. I haven't seen him in years, but back in the 90s, I knew him very well. And I used to do a video show here in Dallas, and I interviewed him once, and we just struck up a friendship after that. And anytime he was in town playing a gig or something, I would go and see their show. But he took over his father's trucking business, that's what I heard. And he doesn't really tour a lot, but he plays a lot in Southern California. His band still puts out some good records. My favorite one that he's ever done, I would say the favorite one was it was his first debut album called, that was the Silver Album, is what everybody called it. But I think it was just Silver. I don't know if they called it Silver or whatever, but it had a silver cover on it. It said Starfleet Flyer 59, and there's a lot of different music that I listen to, but he is a superly good guitar player. Probably could play any style of music that he really wanted to play. Play that shoegaze music in the beginning, but his sound has developed over the years where he kind of did I think he did a recent album where he returned to the shoegaze sound, but I will say that I would not pigeon Jason into a hole that was all that he does, you know. And that's really kind of the cool thing. There's, changing of the guard is a totally different departure from any shoegaze stuff that he did in the past, but really good album. I haven't seen him since he made that album to tell him how much I'd really dig it. I thought it was his best work that he ever did, because the album's a little bit more eclectic, you know, as far as his different sounds. He has this really cool song called Shane, and he kind of gets I don't know how to describe it. It's a real retro sounding song, and my favorite, actually, which I wouldn't have never thought I would say there was anything better than some of the songs off the Silver album that he had. Because he had a gold album too that had some really good stuff to it, but I just like the groove that he had on the Silver album. Usually when bands have their first album, that's more representative to the sound that they really love. A lot of times their sound changes once they get producers and record companies that kind of force them into a different type of sound. But usually if you're lucky enough and you find these bands when they're indie bands and you get to hear what sound that they had, what their influences really are, sometimes you'll see. But you know, sometimes the production is not as good as some of their later studio albums, but still, you know, like, I still like it. He did some side projects that were really cool as well, off of I can't remember what the name of that little indie label. I think it was Blue Velvet or something like that. Really good stuff. Different, you know. A lot of people would think, you know, I know there was a lot of people back in the day found out that I was a big fan of theirs. They were kind of surprised, because most of my stuff at that time I was more like into the Dallas hardcore, grindcore type deal, you know, the Pantera type sound, early Drowning Pool sound. That was more of the stuff that I was into at the time. But anytime that Jason was in town, man, I tried to go to that show, because I thought he was just a really good guitar player. His vocals had gotten better over the years, because he was a reluctant vocalist. He didn't really want to be the vocalist of his band, but he kind of went out like that. So his vocal style has developed over the years, you know, like, that's what he told me. He said, man, if he could get away without having to sing on the songs, he would be a lot more happier. So I think he's gotten more comfortable in that skin now from listening to some of the later stuff that he's done. So, which I'm glad. He does have a good voice. He underrates how good his voice is. But yeah, so if you can find it on YouTube, I know you can. It's called Starflyer 59. The CD or project or whatever, I don't know what they call them now, because album or whatever, I don't know what they really call their projects now, but it's called Changing of the Guard, and it's pretty, like I said, it is pretty decent. Yeah, I wish I've tried to see if I could get, when he posts, when he rarely posts when he's playing somewhere, I've tried to see if I could make it out to California to see him play, just so I could catch up with him and see how he's been doing. Because we used to talk a long time at some of those shows, but before and after the gig, you know. So it was, I mean, I would count Jason as a friend. even though he's a friend I haven't talked to in 20 plus years, but I would definitely put him in the category of friend for me at least. I mean, like I said, I wish that the rules of playing stuff on the stream was a little bit more lenient. I would play a lot of eclectic type stuff. I mean, I'm a guy that I love Guns N' Roses. I love uh, Soundgarden and Alice in Chains. That would be like the main thing you would hear on this channel if I could play it. I would play, then I would go, if I found something cool I thought was cool to really promote for you guys to go download from iTunes or whatever, but they don't really see the value of that anymore. At one time that would have been cool, but it's not anymore. Because especially now, I'm not monetizing the videos, so there's no money being made by me off of their songs. It'd be nothing but promoting the band. But that's not the way it's seen anymore. Back in the day, if this would have happened like in the 90s, that would have been cool. Just as long as you credited the band and put something in the description thing saying where you could download the music you're listening to. That would be more than fine, but not in these days, though. But so I went out and written my own music, and in fact, there was a couple of song ideas I had to add to the stream, and a couple personal songs, that I've thought maybe for this young lady that's coming over here in a few hours. I told her I'd write a song for her. I haven't done it yet. I've gotten a germ of an idea, but we'll see. This arc has been kind of the most boring arc ever. I mean, I haven't really been engaged with the game very much this week. Just because it's been pretty boring. Even this, if my original plans to do today and I wouldn't even do any of this, it wouldn't hurt me at all. Because the prizes for this Flashpoint stuff is not that good. I mean, there's not a whole lot of reason to engage with this. You know what I'm saying? There really isn't. And that's a shame. I mean, it's more the disconnect that the game designers and art designers have with the actual players of the game. Like, there's a lot involved in these different SMSs and solo leaderboard stuff. There's so much to be done, but the prizes are shit. I mean, you go in here, and for you guys who don't have the squad, I'll take that back. But for the most part, the prizes are not that wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Because mining bulk cakes. I think that's what you use to upgrade the squad with. I might use that instead of the officer, actually. Let's see. Let's go in here and see. Let's put this in here. See how close I am to an upgrade. That will be the key. Because I only got 2 upgrades left, and I'm done with it. Because they kind of forced us, people who are trying to get the vengeance, to have to build the ship. So I need 21,000 of these parts. Let's see if there's, how much can be had here. Yeah, I do have fleet presets. I have two. I got one of them in one of the packs, and one of them was in the Syndicate XP. I didn't buy it. You look in here, you'll see the one that's for sale in here is still up there. I don't see the value in it as far as spending money for it. It just depends. It makes it a lot easier. I'll show you the ones I have set up. I got to change one of them because I don't think I had my Vengeance at the time when I set one of them. So you go in here, you see fleet presets, you push that button, and you can see I have one for PvP, and you notice that the Vengeance is not part of it. So I've got to come in here and redo this. This is basically my combat arena setup and the setup I use when I'm not mining. The only difference would be that this one gets kicked off and the Vengeance gets put there. So, and now if I was going to do one for this one, I'd put a mining one up here and put mining on it, you know. But they are cool, but is it worth $100? You can find a way to earn it, like through the Syndicate XP, or actually going into the store. And there's nothing. The precipice I'm going to put on this, if there's nothing else in this thing that can help you your game more, and I do think there is a place in here where you can, preset. You can sit there and pay to get this, but you can see it's pretty hefty price in this loot. Pretty hefty price. So let's see. So I can get one of these for, let's see how many that'll give me. That'll give me like 16,000 of these. Let's see what that does. I'm gonna just do it for the hell of it. See where how close that gets me on my Vengeance. No, it did give me one upgrade on this. We'll go ahead and do it, and then it leaves this one here, and then I'll be done with this ship. So that's going to give me more cargo hull. So that was nice right there, but I'll be totally honest with you. There were other stuff. I was a lower ops player. There's a lot of other stuff that I would have valued over that. And to say what, that's something I can't answer without seeing your account. If I looked at your account and knew what you were working for, I could give you a better answer on that. But when you hear like content creators saying this has value or this doesn't have value, that's their opinion. Your opinion matters more than theirs do, because you know your account and you know your player style. So because that's one of the reasons I don't give those type of things, because everybody's play style is different. Everybody's account is different. Some people have done really well at other places. Some places they need work. And if I told you that you spent money wrongly on this, now the only thing I'll criticize anybody doing is buying this type of shit here, where they go in here and let me find it. I'm sure they got them in here. Actually, they don't. Normally, they have like a deal where people can buy frames and avatars, that's a hunk of crap, man. If there's got to be something in this store that you can find value with, and not that. That's I'll make fun of anybody who goes in here and uses this valuable loot for stuff like that. It's really stupid. Because hell, I would have a blank screen if unless you put one of these. They have some of those events where you put certain avatars on it, it gives you bonus. If cause I would use my if I could use any avatar in here, I would not be using this one. I'd be using the Klingon warrior that's on my YouTube page, the one that I had made, my own personal one. Or I would use the Man in Black from Westworld, because that's kind of who I identify to in this game, where this is kind of like my Westworld, where I can put on the black hat and be the bad guy for a little bit. That's, if I could use any of them, that's the two that I would use. I'd either use the Klingon warrior that I have on my account, or I would use the Man in Black from Westworld. That would be this icon here, right there. I made relentless fun of some guys that were in my alliance who were fighting over one of the icons from the lower decks. They were like they both at least spent $500 or $600 each buying directives that was in that pack. And what was funny about it? It was free in another pack. So they spent all that money for nothing, trying to battle each other on the leaderboard to get that stupid icon, or avatar. They mean nothing. I can sit there and just put a damn blank one up here. Let's put my player name. Let's go. So I could just put this thing up here and I'd be just fine. But this one suits my personality a little bit better, so I go with that one. And but other than that, we might need, even though it's real expensive and I wouldn't pay for it, you could go in here, and if you needed something to make an upgrade, come into some of these currencies and buy something in here. Say you're really hurting for ore and you needed this much, would put you over the top to make an upgrade on one of your ships, and you decided to spend it, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd love to have to spend it on this, but it's just too little. Look how much to get 5 chests. That's $37,000 for not enough. You know what I'm saying? So everything's in the eye of the beholder. Like for me, just using this right here to get that one of my second to last squaw upgrade done, that was worth it to me. But otherwise, to me, the best always, the best thing to spend these loot on is always officers. Is always the officers, because the officers transcend your ships. Because you might be an Ops 56 and your Ops 56 is the bomb, but 2 months later you're trying to get your 60 ship. You know what I'm saying? Ships come and go, but the officers stay with you. I put the most value on the officers, to be quite honest with you. But not all officers, though. A PvP one are a premium. Whether they're below upper deck or below deck, to me they're the premium in the game. Having nice upgrading PvE officers is absolutely cool, but I've got officers that I got strong PvE crews, but I need extra PvP officers, especially below deck. You can never have enough of those. Yeah, I mean, most of the time it's during the avatars give you bonuses in certain events, and that only. There's the one that they had where you picked one or the other icons for one of the things. I can't remember what event it was, but they're not worth to me. They're not worth pursuing for events or uh, in event stores especially, because it doesn't really matter to your game. It doesn't help you. Now, hell, I would put the gayest one in the world if it gave me extra Apex shred or some shit, but I'd put the gay pride one up on there, It- but but it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It does for certain events. They'll have ones where you have to have certain icons in this on for the points to count or something like that, But other than that, those are useless. And to spend important loot on that is kind of, to me, is silly. I mean, you have to have a really strong account to to really justify that. Even research is a waste of research time. Not necessarily. It depends on what the research is. Now, um, to me, the most useless loop in the game right now is the exchange Stella loop, because none of those bonuses, um, they don't stack with anything else. So most likely you've got uh, either a research if you've done somewhere else, or a prime that completely ellipses that loop. Like if I was a low player right now and had to start all over again, I wouldn't even engage with the Apex one at all. The Apex exchange loop, wouldn't do it at all. Wouldn't build the fuck for freaking Stella. Wouldn't do any of that stuff because it's a year one mechanic, and the game has changed so much. Pretty much the Stella loop has always been a time waste for low players and free to play players where they feel important because they can tear up that Stella. But none of that stuff matters. Even because I heard it, kept hearing it from all these players. I said, why y'all engaging? Y'all are too high of a player to be still engaging with that loop. And they, oh man, I need to get this efficiency here, whatever. And I said, well, my suspicion was before I did it, I was bored. There was a part of the game where the whole server was playing Kumbaya, and I was bored. And that was really the first time I thought about going solo to break that shit up. But I didn't do it. So I decided, what the hell, man? I'll just go ahead and I'm bored. So I'll go ahead and engage with it. And I did the research, and I had one that a particular research that I needed a crap load of dilithium. And at the time where our economy was, it was massive. A massive deal. So I went up there because I wanted the dilithium. Let's see. Let's go research. Outlaw tree. Come on. Where you at? All right, let's do it again. Outlaw tree. There we go. This back here. So I got a massive research, and this is we're still our server was still in the billion economy. We weren't in the trillions or even hundreds of billions yet. We're still like in single digit billions. Where there was a research in G5 that needed 5 billion dilithium. And pretty much anybody in the games, dilithiums were in the millions. Nobody had 5 billion dilithium. You just didn't have that. And so I needed it, so I went in here and I did this stupid research, and it didn't even move the needle on that. It didn't even, not even nothing. It was pretty much like I did it, and it didn't push the needle on less. Now, early on, there are some researches in here, I won't lie to you, for an early player, some of the ones for the ships, just the regular ships, one like this. But you don't even need to engage with the Stella to even do that. You can go ahead and just use your regular battleship or regular warship, kill some of them hostiles, get the loot, and come in here and use it. Now the ones where it starts screwing you is like these efficiencies here, where you have to have Stella parts and the research material. Now that's where it starts screwing you. But I'll give you a big clue. You don't even need to engage with the Stella at all. All you got to do is come in here, and I'll make a pull because I'm sure I got extra right now because I haven't been really using it. So we'll go into the X Borg. Go ahead and make that claim. That claim. And that claim there. Like I said, I haven't played today at all, hardly. I had some upgrades and I did it to get a couple of Babinga. Okay, so I unlocked Babinga today. I'm gonna go ahead and make that pull. I'm gonna go ahead and make these other pulls before I get to it, so I won't forget. This is a good pull to make every day. And these parts one especially. Now, if you're doing freebooters, and usually this is where the loot for this comes from doing freebooters. You can go into the Stella Mac, right here, see where I got it right there? You go in here, you do this, and boom, you never have to engage with the loop ever again. You're getting Stella parts, you're getting rep, you're getting the keys to unlock the deal. We'll go in and actually use them. Go into the faction store, and because there's still one officer I haven't gotten that tiered out in that little section. So we'll go into Rogue, Outlaw, and let's find it. Here we go. We'll go over here and we'll get us the directives, and that gives me the loot. I go in here and I go into this tree, boom, and I didn't get what I needed. But still, see, you can do that with never have to go ahead and tier out your Stella, and never have to recycle it or at all. You can leave that alone. Just go in there and get your Stella parts from the freebooters, and you're good to go. That's what I would do if I was a low player again. I would never engage with the. And you say, well, you don't unlock the freebooters until 40. You can skip that whole shit until 40. You just can. Because like I said, there's not a lot in there that's going to help you. But there are some, especially earlier on in the game, because a lot of this stuff for the lower players, they're going to get events that uses the exchange. Use it for the events, get your loot, do the research that you can without getting the Stella parts, and then as soon as you get to the 40s and you can do freebooters, finish it off. But yeah, there's a guy that was in my last alliance as the Op 70. He's still doing the exchange stuff on Thursdays. Why, I can't tell you. There's literally nothing in in that whole thing that he can do. But he's a guy that likes to win everything. So he's going to go do some low cherry picking and win the leaderboard event every week. When there's our guys in there that could use that shit. See, I don't like to play in the shallow end once I know how to swim. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the way I roll. I look at stuff and see, okay, does this really help me in my game? And if the answer is no, I'm not going to compete hard in the leaderboard event and take stuff from a guy that needs it. No. That's kind of an asshole move, you know what I'm saying? But if it's something that can help my game, they're going to have to beat me. And I make it hard. I don't give a freebie to somebody, you know what I'm saying? When it's something I can actually use. Well, now the degree of how far I go with it varies on how valuable the loot is, or prizes, or officer shards, or whatever it may be. But I'll make a guy earn this shit, you know. I won't give him a free ride. But I'm not going to go in and try to win the Apex when there's literally nothing in that store that can help my game. Literally nothing. And the same thing with the Mega Cube thing that they do between every arc. I don't engage with that anymore because there is nothing in that loop that actually helps me. There's nothing I can pull in there. No officer. The whole loop is dead to me because I got the archive thing. So there's nothing in there that helps me at all. So why take something away from a guy that would help? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Trillium D is a pain in the butt to that whole thing especially when they put the officers behind it. Even with the jellyfish, it's better off waiting for the INS jelly, not the. Well, I would say if you're a 5G player, that whole recycling the jellyfish is probably good up until mid 50s. You know, any from 40 to what, it just gives you end up just getting more value. That might be the most. When you're in that part of the game, and that's your little window where the loot or stuff that you scrap for it helps you out with your other ships or building or whatever. That is a valuable loot to engage with. I don't do it anymore because I don't need the parts that a jellyfish would help me out on. Now, I'm in kind of a dilemma here. And they really need to address this because I'm not the only person. In these leaderboard events, like for the Mabinga here, it's super hard for me to even score in this event because I don't have any buildings I can build, and you're not going to make, unless you're going to go ahead and spend about $500-600 here for the event, which I'm not going to do. I've spent all the money I'm going to spend on this game for a while, and you're making like one upgrade a week. on these ships, and that's not enough to clear the leaderboard event. So what makes me have to do is go in and build a 5-star ship and tear it out like some of you see me do. And the problem is I'm getting low on hangar space. If we look at my shipyard here, and I pull this up, let's go ahead and put swap ships. It usually tells you how many you have in here. No, maybe it doesn't here. Let's go in the actual hangar itself. I'm getting low on space because I've got a bunch of epics that I need to scrap. And we were promised a year ago that it was going to happen. And it still hadn't happened. Over a year ago. It was last July when the CEO guy said, yeah, that's coming soon. You know, well, my definition of soon is come and gone. So we'll look at the hangar. It usually tells you in here how many you have slots. So let's see, it's 70. It's 70. I got 126 slots. There's some place in here that tells me how many slots I have. I know I've seen it on here a bunch of times. I thought it was right here when you do this. It tells you how many ships you. Maybe it's in the build. Come on. Yeah. See, I only got 22 more ships I can build, and I'm full. You know, I can come in here and get rid of these little ones maybe. Let's do that now. I don't need that piece of crap. I don't know why I even made it. Oh, that's a build. Never mind. I thought, why the heck do I got that? I don't. Let's see. Let's go into swap ships. We'll look and see what we got in here that we can get rid of. I almost want to get rid of that, but I can't because there might be something I'm needed. The Botany Bay, I don't think I can scrap that. I know I can't get rid of the regular Vidar. I can't get rid of any of these Meridians. Can't get rid of any of the amalgams because I would do all but one. Now I could probably get rid of this bad boy. You know what? I'm gonna do the one I don't have completely tiered out. Oh crap. Swap ships. I got one that's partially built because you have to go into a store and buy the warp signature thing or whatever to be able to take it any higher. So we're gonna put that. Well, you know what? I don't need it in the slot actually. I need to put it go into the scrap thing and see who I can scrap. Okay, so let's go back and put my Titan back in here. Or not my Titan, but my Vengeance. We'll put that back in there. We'll go into the scrapper. And we'll go. See, I want to keep at least one Klingon ship of every class. Because that's where I'm at. Okay, so I don't see any ship I can actually scrap here. Now I could my Enterprise, but I don't want to do the Enterprise either. There's really nothing. There's nothing I can. This is it. This is all I can scrap. Out of all those ships in that damn hangar, I'm reduced to only these, which is totally ridiculous. Because I would get rid of all of my. Whatchamacallits, oh crap, what's that? I can't think of the name of the ship. Meridians. I would get rid of all of those. I don't need those anymore. Because my 68 ships mine it way faster than it does. Don't need it. Like I said, I would keep one amalgam. I would scrap all the G6 ships I have except my Klingon ones. And my G5 ones. Except for the Enterprise D, I would keep one of those. and I would scrap all but one of my Rotarans. Let's see, how far we are in the event. Did we finish the milestone while we're talking here? Usually it's a big ass number. Yeah, we did. So now it's just scoring in this event, I guess. Let's see where I'm at. Is it worth pursuing? Let's see. Is it worth pursuing? What is the prizes here? So going into the top 10 is a substantial gain. Now, what's weird about it is it's a substantial gain from going to 11th to 10th, but it's not so much going from 6th to 5th. Now, 4th to 3rd is a good deal, so is the rest of these. These are like 10,000 bumps, each one of those. So, see, I guess our choice is, do we keep going and try to get in the top 10? Let's go ahead and look, see what. Now, there are some other stuff I want to do here, though. So, let's go ahead and do that. I want to go ahead and run those Armada. I need to loot. We'll see. Wait a minute. Stop. I need to see which one. See if I got any epics before we come back here. I know I got some rares. I don't know if I got any. Yeah, I've got 3. So, we're going to come back and do 3 of these. Or you know what, guys? They probably going to put an event. Does it go tomorrow too? They'll probably put the event for the Armadas tomorrow, since they've got or mining stuff. So I might wait. That might be the smarter thing to do. I'll go ahead and repair that and come back and see if I can move myself into the top 10. But yeah, these invading entity ones, that they may have another event for that before it ends. But they may not, because it looks like this one times out with that. So that might be the only one. But why not wait another day and see? See if we get another SMS. Like, because we've been getting multiple ones for this and mining. There could be just another one of these. So, but now I've got a bunch of rare, and I do need the loot. That's the problem, because it's sitting there empty. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. What the hell? I mean, I've got a bunch of rare ones I can save for the other one. But the problem is right now, the reason why I want to go ahead and do it is for one reason only. Is if you look into the exchange, which is the one I don't have done, is the epic one. And the epic one is the one I want the most. See, I got DeMarco, so the value of the rare is not as high as these other two. And we just got a whole lot of loot for that. But for most people that don't have DeMarco done, the rare ones be the most valuable one. Because DeMarco is a way better officer than this new officer. Even though he's usable for both PvE and PvP, he's definitely worth engaging with to get. But I don't see him as good as an officer is. Okay, so we're going to go. Okay, so we need to change this up. Now, Mabinga might work for these invading enemy armadas. They don't call them that, but we will anyway. Now, DeMarco, that's her deal on deck, is invading entities. So we need to really put her most def, and let's see. Well, we need to look at Miss. Come on, stop. Okay, we'll definitely take her off, even though she Okay, so I think I had, let's see, let's go into group. We can put Seska in Hugh's place. Because Hugh and regular Chapel don't work on those type of entities. Let's see what Carol Marcus's does. Non-Armada, okay, we know that. Let's don't use her. Now there is a question whether those work on this type of thing or not. So I think I've been using, what's his thing? Okay, we are going to use him. I think I use him on the side here. Set in the cap spot. So we need to get somebody for Chapel. Let's go below deck and we'll look around. We got Mabinga. Let's see what he does below. War's not over. Puts shield for. He's not tiered up high enough. If he was up closer to that 5 tier, yeah, definitely. Let's look at Mr. Scotty. Yeah, let's put Scotty in here. Okay, let's see. What is the other one that has the generic? I think it's this one, but I've got him in a. See, he would be one I would stick on here if I didn't have him in a away mission. So we got look pretty good there. I mean, we're going to be overpowering these things anyway. What I was doing before, but I can't do now, is I was going into this 70 space max fortification and hitting those. But the thing is, I need those for my Vengeance event. I can't use max fortification for something like this. It's not as valuable to me. It's not valuable to me as getting competing in the Vengeance event for parts. So that's going to limit myself to doing these epics in this one and the rares in this one over here instead of doing both in there. Now, I'm unsure whether I can beat an epic. I tried it before I figured out the crew that you just saw, and I failed miserably on the epic. But you need max fortification. You can't even think about going in there without max. Even with a maxed cube, you can't think about going in there without the max fortification. Now, when I get this Vengeance up higher, where I'm up because right now it's about the same strength as the cube. Once I get it up into like 300 billion or something, then I could probably go one-on-one with that thing without the max fortification. But right now I'd be wasting stuff, and you can see I'm low as I've ever been in the game in a long time with this. I can't waste it. So we're going to go up here, hit all 3 of those, and then we're going to go down and see how many rare ones we have. I think we should have double digit in the rare. And we'll do 3 or 4 of those. And we'll save the rest of them in case there's another event. And then when we get on the last day, there's no event, I'll come there and clean the rest of it out. Now they have made this event a little bit more player friendly than their previous iterations of it. By the way that they redid the SMSs and the leaderboard events and the IMS, they're all doable. But I have a lazy server. They would be now the transigen stuff where they mine, they're balls to the wall with that, but doing the work for this hostiles, I don't know if they're still going to do. I don't know that we still finish it. Because usually on those events, even when we used to have the old invasions, which I guess they scrapped that. Okay, this is the 66. Okay, we need to go in the 68 space. Okay, had them backwards. So I should have seen how many. Should have went and seen how many directives I had while I was in there. Damn it. We will before we go back, because before we take the cube back, we'll see how many we got left. But I need to do all three of these epics for the loot. Last time I had enough directives that I got all 6 of them, and there are 5 of them. They're just they don't spawn real fast. Okay, so we got all, and I still got a pretty decent amount of hull left on it. I think that crew that I had before in here was better. Because I don't think that's a little bit more hull damage than I normally get. So I'm going to have to rethink my lower deck. Especially if I try to go back for nail some of those 70s. This lower deck's not going to cut it. I got to figure out what I had before. Let's see how many rares we got. No, we only got 5, so let's do 2 of them. Let's see, we got enough people below deck. No, man, we got nobody. Everybody's in other ships. Yeah, I wish I could cloak that. I wish I could cloak that that Vengeance. I'd go up there and pop him. You notice he saw me in here and left. He knew I was coming back to get him. There was 0 chance I wouldn't come after him. He knows that. Okay, that should give us enough loot for a pull tomorrow. Let's go ahead and pull all these. Okay, so that should give us a decent amount of chance to pull something in this refinery in which it's showing right now. Okay, so let's go. So we can make a full pull. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I doubt I'm gonna get another epic to run. So let's go ahead and do the full pull. We got 6 of these. We got a bunch of hazard particles. That'll do some real good research. We got a bunch of the premium dust, and we got 6 of the Strange New World Klingon officer. Okay, so we got that really decent pull there. Looking to see if I got anything here. Nope. All right, so I don't. Now this here, let's see. Well, what are they giving away? I mean, that's a decent pull. But you're looking like you're going to have to spend. How many are you going to have to spend? You're going to have to buy 8 packs to finish this thing. That's quite a bit of this loot, but let's ask ourselves the question. So to finish this, we're going to have to spend $800, basically. Now there was a pack in here that gave me 200 of those tokens. That's a no-brainer. That's the way you go if you want the tokens. Forget that stupid event. Now if this was the week you were going to build one of these ships or tear them up, that would be a win-win thing for you, you know. But for me, if I want tokens, I'll just go buy, I'll buy that pack for $200 pack that they had in here. I already did it before there was even new. I opened up to see what was in the store when I woke up and saw it. It said done, because you had 200. I think it was in this. It was either the feature or the new. They had added in here. And they had 200 of those, 200,000 of those tokens. That's enough for. Let's go into the store. I think that's enough for 50, 60, or I think 60 epic shards on it. Let's go in the store. Let's go to one of the officers. It don't really matter. We'll just go 7. So you get 80,000. So you get 200,000 of those. That's going to give you 40. And then it's going to give you 50, exactly 50 shards of whatever officer epic officer that you're needing. Now the place to do, really the thing to do is do these rare. I mean, look how many of these you can pull. You got 13,000 for 10. If there's one of these officers that you're really wanting to tear out, that's the way to go. That's what I did with it, at least. I didn't use them on the epics. I used them on the rares. To me, that was a better strategy. And right now, there's not one of these rares I don't have tiered out that you're looking at right here. And, there was quite a few of them, the rare ones I tiered out during that arc. Okay, so we got this is pretty good. Let's go ahead and pull that. That's going to give us some more. Another ticket event finished. Yeah. Okay. So that helped me right here. That helped me right here a tremendous amount. Okay, so let's fix that. Let's see what time it's getting to be. Okay, work is paging me. Let me see what the hell's going on here. Where'd she go? Wow. Okay, she's not on here. Man, this girl is so hot. wonder if it'll let me take a screenshot of that. I don't think it will. Okay. I'll see how cool she is to sharing her picture over the stream or not when she gets here. If she gets here, like she doesn't. Like I said, it's a 50-50 thing. She asked me if she could stop by if she had time. I'll ask her at that point if it's cool if I share her picture. Because I don't know that, I really don't even share my picture on here, so I don't know about her wanting me to share her picture. But she kind of looks like, in some of her pictures, she kind of looks like a young Tiffany Amber Thiessen. She is really freaking hot. That's immediately what I thought. I thought that or Victoria Principal when she was young. Yeah, and that Andy Gibb killed himself because he lost her. He ended up getting way off. He was already doing drugs, but it put him off the deep end on Victoria Principal, man. In her day, in her Dallas days, there's really not many women on TV that were hotter than she was. My next was Max until I get up. Well, that's cool. I need that. I've been actually in this art, one of the actually good features in this art, in this new loop thing right here, is the ability to go in here and use the transigen to finish the loops. And you'll see which ones that I use to do it. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's the loops, 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 loops? Where's it at? So you can see I need to go back and mine some raw, common, and uncommon. I don't have any of that. I've already used it all. Loops efficiency. Here we go. You can see I used the one for the Gorn ship, and I did do the one for the Protector because it gives you a lot. And the one for the Relativity, I probably should do too. I just, last night when I was doing this, I didn't think about it. I was like, it was pretty busy at work last night. Didn't really get to play hardly any. But she's even better looking in person. This girl, I'm telling. She's hot as hell, but she looks even better in person. I saw her. I guess it was about. When was that? Our whole days are all streamed together because of work. Especially that first night off, like which tonight is. It's like a whole day you're trying to catch your bearings. What freaking day is this, you know? Because when you're working 12-hour shifts and they're long shifts, man, and your days kind of just bloop all together, and you don't really think about it too much, you know. But hey, I need to call my sister a little bit. Today's her birthday, and I just remembered I hadn't called her yet. I'm going to do that real quick. So I'm going to pod down the sound here and turn up the music for a minute. I will come back. If I don't, you guys remind me and I'll come back online. No I got her voicemail. I texted her and left her a voice message. I hope she'll call me back. But they all potted down. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and hit some of these other hospitals. There's not a whole lot to do in this arc right now, so might as well go ahead and put my odd crew back on there and go back into 68 space again and go to town. Let's look and see if there's anything else we can possibly do besides this. I thought I heard somebody text me back. Oh yeah, I need to see what work one is. I just remember I saw the date on there when I picked my phone up. I think it's probably they're looking for somebody to come in and see okay, yeah, I think somebody took it already. Good deal. So I don't have to. What's weird about it is in the alliance. I just told you how lame my server is. I'm a one-man alliance and I'm ranked 8th on my server. So I'm beating all but the 7 top alliances. I'm beating them on this in this event, which that should not be a possibility. That's how lame this server is. I mean, I shouldn't even be able to finish in the top 14 as a solo player. Let's see what can I upgrade for this one. Okay, that'd be worth doing. I thought any of these other ones. That one I can't do. That one I can do. We'll do that one. We'll do shield, the armor, and I'll just buy it. Okay. How about shield? Is that the next one? Yeah. Same here. I don't want to use tokens up for it. Okay, any more of these? Now that needs parts I don't have. That one needs parts I don't have. And that one needs parts I don't have. That helps me in the milestone event for sure. Let's see where I'm at. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to build another epic and tear it up to maybe finish this event. At least one, maybe 2. I'll do that tomorrow. I'm not gonna do that tonight. I don't feel like pulling the blueprints. Oh boy. Man, I can't believe I'm like 9th and I haven't really done anything in this. Except stuff like you just saw, stuff that I grinding out a few upgrades for these 6G ships. No really effort to score in it, you know, just doing upgrades that I can do. Who's this? Who's afraid I'm gonna hit their ship? Well, he knows I'm not gonna hit his ship. Why is he worried about going OPC? I'm not gonna hit his ship. I mean, hell, I could have already gotten some of his stuff in other places if I wanted to hit his stuff, you know. You know, no, when you should be afraid is when you see that. When you see that Revenant, not the cube. The cube doesn't hold enough cargo space to really be a good OPC hunter. It just really doesn't. Now you see the Revenant coming down into your system. You better you better warp out of there if you're OPC. Because I'm getting, but I still wouldn't get his. He's seen me hunting other people, and didn't go after his. I don't know why he would do that. What is cats? What is the cats for what? Cats? Why cat? What are you talking about? Oh, he's talking about. Okay, I get you're talking about what he was saying in the deal. They have what they do is they have some of the upgrades on some of these ships are ops locked. You have to be at a certain ops level to be able to upgrade the ship any farther. That's what he's talking about. He's ops locked with his protector until he gets to ops 50. Then he can do some more upgrades to it. I don't know why they do that. That's kind of stupid. If you're a player and you get a chance to be able to, because you know what, it's going to be even harder for a person lower to be able to do some of this, because trying to hit bigger hostiles with the ship, you're not going to have the research. There's so much other things that you're not going to have as a lower player that I don't know why the whole ops lock thing ever made any sense to me. I think the game in itself gives you enough of the locks on certain things, but you can't do it because you're too low or your ship's not strong enough, you know. I think there's enough of those in the game that they don't need to put barriers up for you. So that doesn't really make has ever made any sense to me. Why they would put an ops lock on one of these specialty ships. Because if anything, all it does is help. All it does is increase the engagement of certain loops, and then according to what I was told by a high level Scopely person, that engagement was one of the main factors that they factor in when they're talking about merges and everything. So if they themselves put a barrier on your engagement, then they're actually hurting their own matrix. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. If you got a guy that loves that ship and he wants to go and do all that he can do to get it tiered up as fast as he can, you're only hurting. Scopely's only hurting themselves in that situation, you know. It doesn't make any sense. You know, say when I got my tally, and it was op locked when I on the very last tiers of it. That made no sense to me. If I was engaged and got it to the point where I could make that those upgrades on it, I should be able to do it no matter what op levels I am. If I'm going to put that high engagement into the ship, in the loop. I mean, none of these things. The cooldowns don't make sense. If I got loot, I should be able to spend it how I want to spend it. If I want to spend it all at once and finish an officer, or I want to spend a little bit at a time, I should be able to do that crap. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to spend, say we got the newest officer and they had it in the store, I should be able to, and they had cooldowns on it. Well, it doesn't make any sense. I should be able to make as many pulls and spend as much money as I want to get the officer, if you wanted to do that. You know, like the I think it's the, I thought it might have been this event. There's one event where they got it in, yeah, it is this event where they got the stupid cooldown on. If I go in here and I go into the store, the Flashpoint event store. Well, they've got a, basically got one pull for this officer the entire event. That's totally stupid. I should be able to do as many pulls as I've got loot to pull. See, now I don't even know how I'm going to spend the rest of the loot. I've already spent some of it on this, and the cooldowns pass whenever the event's over with, so that doesn't really help. I don't have DeMarco. I got her done. And spending it on these artifacts is stupid. I can make a pull every night for those and not have to spend valuable loot out here. But they're not really giving much of a choice. Either it's going to have to be these artifacts, or I go in here and so this is the research for the squaw. So what I might end up doing is going ahead and making this pull here. Well, I'm gonna wait and see if I can get 10 chests, I guess, or I think there's one for the building in here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Do it for the building. One or the other. Don't know which one would be more. I have to think about that a little bit. But to me, if I can make pulls for that officer, as many having a weak cooldown on the thing is really stupid. It's just like on the old invasions where they had the scrap. Yeah, now people got billions of that scrap that they can't spend. You know, it looks like the old invasions is dead. This is going to be it from now on, and they're going to have it more frequent than the old invasions. So everybody's got all this scrap from those entities, and no way to spend it. Now, I did tell somebody, a person that thought it was a good idea that they were going to pass it on, so I'm not going to say who, but I did tell them they need to have an event, a spend event for that loot, like they were doing like the Gorn ship and the NX-01 loot, park loot, where they could change it for Platinum and whatever the other stuff was in that store. I don't remember quite offhand. But anyway. Oh, crap. Let's see. They found somebody. I don't know why they keep pinging me for. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so I'll be right back. I gotta go do something real quick. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna string for just a little bit longer, and I'm like, I'm gonna cut it because there's really nothing to do on this one. And I think last time I was on, you guys saw me redo a bunch of stuff to repopulate some of my loops in here, so I'm not really low on anything. I don't need a wave defense, and I don't need a Crenum run or anything right now. So really, there's nothing that's more needed. I need to see when these stupid SMS for this thing is done. Like I said, I would like to get up in the top 5, top 6, somewhere in there. And I'm already, what's this? Oh, that's the wrong thing. I need to go to the flashpoint stuff. Here we go. When's this SMS over with? Oh, we still got 2 days. So there's really no need for me to go hard tonight on this. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream early. I'm gonna go kind of chill for a little bit, see if my friend comes over or not, but we'll see if she does. So until next time. What's going on here? Why is my thing not coming up? Here we go.